Hey, welcome back to Ping Pong Flicks. My name is Chris Wong. I have come upon something that is intriguing at best, and so many things are going on in my head after reading this theory and kind of researching into it a little bit more. Things that we've heard of, but it wasn't out in the media. I'm about to bring that forward to you, so look out. Zordon may have actually been the White Ranger. Is there a White Ranger in this new Power Rangers movie reboot? Well, this kind of all started out when someone mentioned in my comments that the Power Ranger Zordon could very well be the White Ranger. There is a theory out there that in the TV show Zordon was a White Ranger. I'm not going to read this whole Reddit fan theory, and I'll put down the link in the below so you can go ahead and read it yourself. But it basically tells us, how did Zordon get the white? He can't create the coin. Where did it and the powers come from? And they said only the Ninja was able to bring forth the White Ranger powers. So Zordon helped in that. He must have tapped into those powers, right? So maybe he had the White Ranger power coin. This whole thing explains it out, and it sounds pretty solid, I might say. But what does that have to do with the movie, which we know has changed everything, changed all the outlook of what we knew from the Power Rangers? Not all, but almost all of it from what we knew in the TV series. Well, it got me thinking. If, for one, remember I said that Rita is probably the Green Ranger, and we've got hints of it and things like that, but I did not know this happened. Bryan Cranston was on Larry King Now, and you talked about upcoming Power Rangers movie, and this was back in June. He did mention all the colors, and he kind of slipped up green. He said red, blue, black, yellow, and green, all the primary colors. He kind of slipped it up. That was Green Ranger. Then they went on Twitter. It came out, and Elizabeth Banks, the actress who is playing Rita Repulsa in the new Power Rangers movie reboot, she says when they asked her why is her costume green, she says, now you've hit something. Why indeed? That's a very peculiar Twitter to come out and say, because that is something very secretive, very kind of, it's out there. You can kind of tell it's Green Ranger, but it's not blatantly said. Even though the rap kind of came out with a little summary, and I've already did a video on that, but that's got me thinking. Okay, so they got all the different colors, right? And they had behind the scenes shoots of them fighting against these the monsters and stuff, and then you see Rita, you see the Red Ranger and things like that. So on the set, you're looking at there was a behind the scenes where people a person shot a picture of their weapons. Okay, they got the red, they got the blue, they got the black, they got the yellow, they got all the colors we think they should get, but and pink, of course. But there's another color there, and that looks white. I don't know about you, but that looks white to me. White or silvery is something that's very different. And if this is around the scene where they're fighting Rita, who was the Green Ranger, let's for story's sake, let's just say she is the Green Ranger, it's confirmed, whatever. What if there's a White Ranger now? What? That could be something else. So let's get back to what happened. Maybe Zordon's not the Red Ranger. Okay, Zordon was the White Ranger. I mean, he's got the white, and I mean, we've never really seen Bryan Cranston look to him, but he's the most powerful one. White Ranger is the most powerful one. He becomes the leader of the Power Ranger TV series afterwards. The Red Ranger kind of just fell off to the side, you know. And that would be incredible. I mean, that would be something to let's change it up a little bit. How people, I mean, back in my day when they had the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, they were both played by Jason David Frank, but they were both Tommy. I always thought, what man, I had two of them. You know, I had the White Ranger, I had the Green Ranger, but they're the same character. They can't be on screen at the same time. Let's change it up for the movie. Let's make maybe Rita Repulsa, who is the Green Ranger. She turns good towards the end, and they all have to go fight Lord Zed, right? I mean, I don't know, Lord Zed maybe. And so she turns green to be the Green Ranger, a female Green Ranger. Kind of evens out the playing field. We got 3 female characters, and then we got 3 male characters, and there's just going to be one central leader. Tommy Oliver returns as the White Ranger. And I don't mean it could be Jason David Frank. I don't mean that at all. I just mean that the character Tommy Oliver shows up as the White Ranger without having to go through that Green Ranger process. Because if in this movie, within this movie, if it's like that episode where the Green Ranger is evil, then turns good, Rita Repulsa is the Green Ranger, she turns good, then we have 7 Rangers. I don't know if this is going to be true, but there's some things in here, and that one picture, just that one picture showing their weapons on that guy's, I don't know what the behind the scenes, it could just be like an extra part or something, but they have it laid out. You got red, blue, black, pink, white, or silver, then the yellow. And Rita's in that scene somewhere, so it's not her weapon. I don't know. I'm just baffled by the amount of stuff people can bring forward and make us ask more questions gather more evidence, try to figure this out. I know it's only March that it comes out, but it's just so amusing. If anything, if they are actually able to make this movie have the depth that our saga, the mythos, the comics ever, and put it on screen, would be incredible, incredibly amazing. And for once, guys, we can have a Green Ranger separated from the White Ranger. Finally, you can have both toys on screen, and maybe, I know it's going to be tough to deal with a female Green Ranger, but I think having a White Ranger come back is a good compromise, I guess. Another thing I want to add is, I don't know if you knew this, but in the Power Rangers, I don't collect the Power Rangers comics, but as I was researching this White Ranger thing, I don't know if this is a spoiler for you if you're even in the comics, but if you are, you know, you turn off right now. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the comic. But in the comic, the White Ranger does appear inside the comics, and it's not Tommy, because Tommy is still the Green Ranger. In this one, he's like an evil White Ranger. He's like sitting on the throne like Lord Zed, in place of Lord Zed, if I might add, and that is really intriguing. So there's so many different elements this movie could probably gather from, or probably take from, and try to form it together, and I'm really intrigued by that, and I think you guys are too. But is this possible? Is it possible that Zordon could be the White Ranger? There is a White Ranger Power Ranger coin in this film. White Ranger shows up in this film to help the other Rangers, and that's like our wild card, right? Another interesting fact is Jason David Frank. He said that he when they asked him if there's any involvement in the project, and this was a while back, he said, I quote, "I probably will be involved. They talked to me about it. I don't know how much I am involved, but for sure cameos at least in the reboot movie." Now, if that has any changed at all, that would be flat out amazing. If he came back as the White Ranger, that will be so badass. You can already tell just by freaking looking at him, you know he's a veteran, and the fans would go nuts for sure. That would go nuts. I would go nuts in the theater if he shows up and he turns into the White Ranger. That would be so amazing. But I don't know. I'm just giving you this movie more credit than maybe it's really due, but I can't wait. Anyway, what do you guys think about this Power Rangers reboot theory? White Ranger, is he real? Will he exist in this movie? I actually hope it does. Alright, thank you for watching, guys. Have a good night. Bye.